Attention please. This uploading is only for educational purpose. No intention to infringe copyrights. Learning English with Subtitles GPITRAL. Follow us.
In the black of night, marauding dogs have laid waste to a flock of ewes and their lambs in Waitakere. Now the SPCA has been called in to see if anything can be done.
A couple of dogs have come through last night and attacked most of the sheep that are here. We've got a couple of lambs that are injured and a dead mum over there with her lambs. So it's just going to be a process of going through what we've got here. It goes down a raceway and into the bush further down where apparently there's some more dead ones. I hate these jobs, absolutely hate these jobs. It's never nice, especially when you've got lambs waiting for their mums to get up and, you know, and these sheep have obviously been chased for most of the night. So it would be good to find the dogs that were here.
For an animal lover like Karen, pointless devastation like this can be heartbreaking.
Loads more sheep down here. Some are dead. Long dead, one there. We're just going through a process now of trying to choose which ones are bad. And there's a couple in there that look like they've got their jaws have been broken, so you know, their lambs are not going to be able to eat.
The carnage found here conjures up the spectre of cold-blooded killing machines roaming the countryside. But chances are this is the work of ordinary household dogs on the loose.
This is what they would have been doing the whole night. And the dogs just keep coming back. If they just stay still, the dogs, you know, would leave them alone, but they don't. They keep on running. Absolute disaster.
Though a good number of the flock are dead, some of the ewes and lambs have escaped serious injury. For now, the team will continue to look for survivors until the vet arrives to assess the animals. Back at the SPCA, some donkeys are now enjoying the sunshine and the feel of fresh grass under their hooves. For the adult donkeys, it was a different story a month ago when the SPCA uplifted them from a local farm.
They had severely overgrown feet. His feet were probably some of the worst that I've seen. The feet were so long that it was affecting other parts of their bodies. I mean, it affects like the ligaments and all that sort of thing as well. And the way the feet had grown, they had a lot of infection and foot rot and things in their hooves as well. Basically, yeah, they were in a lot of discomfort and in pain as well. So at that point, the owner was given the option of getting a farrier to come in and treat the feet. And when that didn't occur, then we stepped in and took them.
The dire state of the donkey's hooves required some fairly extreme footwork.
When we first had their feet done, they had to be knocked out by a vet to have it done. Now they can be just done standing with and a farrier comes out and does them. So there's been a huge amount of work that's gone into it, but there's been a huge progress too in the couple of months that they've been here.
Until their future is decided, the donkeys have the run of the SPCA's back paddock. The farrier is coming in later to check their hooves, including the feet of the foal whose don't seem to be giving him any trouble. An injured gannet has been found on Muriwai Beach. Robin Sampson, a volunteer from the SPCA's bird wing, is nursing the stricken seabird.
He came down in the wind. It was when we had that last really bad storm. He's got an injured wing, and it's in this joint up in here. I couldn't feel it broken, but it's definitely hanging down and not in the position that it should be. So he's going today over to Pam's, which is going to be decision time really, if we'll have a look at him and decide whether we think that wing is going to come right, or if it's not, whether we have to put him down. And that's saying that it's a shame that we've had him for a week and then may have to put him down, but to me it's worth giving him that chance. Basically, if it doesn't come right, he's no good to go back out to the wild. They need that for their flying. They need to be accurate so that they can catch their food. So he wouldn't survive.
Robin's made great progress with the bird in the last 8 days.
He was very, very light, very skinny. The lice were just absolutely rampant on him, and only just had the will to live, I'd say.
Hiya. You get him in all right?
Yeah, there was no problem.
Right.
Robin's taken the gannet to Pam Howlett, a seabird specialist with the bird wing. Pam houses over 100 birds on her property, but when the SPCA call, there's always room for one more.
I want you to have a look at the wing
Yeah.
and just see what you think. It's come up and he's using it, but it's that elbow joint.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want
Right.
me to take his head?
Okay, if you hold his head.
Yeah, got it.
Oh, it's not swollen, is it?
No, no.
Despite all Pam's experience with seabirds, the cause of the gannet's injury is proving a bit of a puzzle.
It's difficult to say with gannets. I mean, how do they get into trouble? Is it probably with diving? And he's hit something. That's about all I can think of, unless he's hit the rigging of a boat. To get into something like that and damage a wing like that. Oh, well, shall we just let him go with the other one and have a...
See what he does.
Yeah. Says I'm a bit drunk after that trip. The first injured bird I picked up out in the estuary here was 1971. I remember that, the biggest mistake I ever made. And I've been doing it ever since. Doesn't look very good, does it, really? He certainly couldn't be released like that. See how he goes as he gets a bit stronger. In a few days, we'll get it over to our vet, Bert Westra, who normally sees all the gannets from Uruguay, and get him to examine it. That's the plan at the moment.
Sheep mauled by rampaging dogs are being gathered together for an inspection by the vet.
Got him. Just trying to decide if they're okay to leave behind without their mums, or whether they sort of need fostering, or they're going to be okay, because some of them haven't been weaned yet, and their mums aren't here anymore, so they're just going to be lost. Oh, Mum. Oh. It's quite good. I know it's not good, but it's better than it could have been.
But while the vet can save some of the sheep, Karen finds others so badly injured they will have to be put to sleep.
Oh, baby.
What is it, Karen?
It's not good. It's got his face torn away. Oh, I'll look after it, Hayden.
It's been a difficult day for Karen and the team, but still they've managed to make a difference.
He had a bite through his nose.
What do you think?
He'll be right.
I think the vet's pretty much seen everything that needs to be seen, and I'm going to now go and see if I can find the dogs. I did see them out on the road before, and the owner was whistling for them, and they're covered in mud, so I'm going to head over there and see if we can get them identified.
Further north, some pigs have been found in dreadful conditions in the Bay of Islands. SPCA inspector for this region, Jim Boyd, believes some urgent action is needed.
Pigs are a bit of a problem because they do mess up the ground. They do eat all the vegetation, they root the ground up and leave it as you see. We've got an area of mud with some gorse in it, so it'd be nice if they could alternate the areas for them, give them some shelter where they can get away from the wind and rain and things like that. It's a totally unacceptable situation for the pigs. We've got to do something about it.
Jim's received 3 separate complaints about the pig's environment, including one from a relative of the pig's owner.
It's all right, people having animals. It's looking after them as well.
Concerned the pigs are underweight, Jim's brought them a bunch of Kiri's finest local produce. But he knows they'll need a lot more than this to stop their downward slide.
Now, she's getting pretty skinny, this one. She shouldn't feel the cedar backbone like that. Apparently last year, the mother ate the piglets. And they don't do that unless they're very, very hungry. I'm going to give them a written instruction. They really need to get them out of here and get them onto some of the other grass. If they've got a fencing area off to do so, they'll do it. The pigs aren't acceptable. They're too skinny. Not much good for Kai.
Oh.
Not much good for Kai when they're skinny. They've got to have more food. They've got to have proper shelter where the mother can lay down with the babies. Got to have fresh, clean drinking water every day. It's yuck. It's mud. You wouldn't drink it, would you? Would you drink it? It tells you something. I'll give them 7 days, and if they haven't tended to it and fixed it, I'll pick the pigs up.
Back at the animal village, the donkeys rescued from a local farm are lining up for a visit from local farrier Brent Craig. On Brent's first visit, several inches were removed from their hooves.
That's taken a long, long time.
Yeah. As well as being so long, he's walking sideways on them as well.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, it's not like a problem that, you just go out one morning and, something's happened to your donkey. I mean, you're looking at this for, months, years, thinking, well, I don't know, are you thinking something should be done? Obviously not, because nothing was.
Left untrimmed, a donkey's hooves will continue to grow, but it's not just the feet themselves that will be damaged.
All the stress that goes up their tendons and they walk with their feet out in front of them rather than underneath them, that they can carry their body. So when they're walking out like that, it's hard on the whole body.
This is Brent's fourth visit to the donkeys, and his expert skills are finally putting a spring in their step.
They're just having their sort of final foot trim in terms of getting their feet back to as close to normal as we can.
To a certain extent, they probably will have, a couple of them will probably have some permanent damage, in especially the hind feet that a couple of them have got, being so long, and it's put their joints out of alignment for so long. But they were 15 inches long, and there's 15 inches long.
As you can see, they're not overly appreciative of all the work that we've done to them.
I've got no idea why they keep them. They're better to give them away. Somebody that appreciate them.
Yeah.
I think it's cute to have a pet, no matter what it is. I think it's cute, but they don't know one thing about looking after it.